1962 Impala Restoration, Part 7. Hinges, mount doors, and mount onto frame fixture. Hit that subscribe button, leave us a like. Alright, let's go. Now this is a new one on me. I've never seen a hinge pin broken like that before. So we're going to address the hinges by rebuilding them. And that's just good practice on any start of a restoration to rebuild the hinges. And I've got a Delrin hammer, and now I'm sheeting these bushings. And now we're going to drive in the hinge pin itself. And we always want to support the hinge when we're driving in a hinge pin. Now this is the lower hinge, and it happens to have a spring with this configuration from the factory. So the kit came with a new spring, that's it. And there it is, assembled. I always work by myself, so I've learned a few tricks to make things easier. And whenever I'm hanging doors, I always install these studs. Okay, mounting the hinges onto the door. And you can see how this works. Now this door is bare. If it was loaded out with glass and the regulator, all the mechanisms, it'd be considerably heavier. But with these studs, it makes life so much easier. And now we'll start the process of installing the rest of the bolts and getting this door in perfect alignment. And we're just snugging down the bolts, not over tightening them. And the Impala door is aligned and installed. Nice fit on the replacement skin. Nice alignment to the original body. Okay, now with those two things accomplished, we're going to get this mounted onto the frame fixture so we can really take off on the rust repair. And mounting the front stanchions. And this is our crossbar, and it's very, very important to center the car for one on the frame fixture, and then we want the car level on the frame fixture. We don't want to start with a twisted body. That'll just go downhill from there. So we've got our measurements. And now we're going to mark that out. And I've already cut off the stanchions to the same height. And we're using the existing body mount on the firewall for the front support. And we also want to make sure that the stanchions are the same distance and it's the same front to back. A good rule of thumb to always follow is you start square, you stay square, end square. Tacking that into place. Final adjustments. Now with the front completed, I haven't welded that yet. They're just tacked into place, and actually the stanchions are just sitting in the correct position. And you'll notice I also have the safety block still in the front. Now we've lifted it up to level, so now I'm going to go ahead and put a few inches of weld. And I'm not going to weld all the way around it. A lot of times people will over weld. That's plenty. One on each side. Now I'm working on the mid brace. Using the fireball squares. They make life really easy. Really easy to square up stock, clamp, and go. And another reason not to over weld, especially on a frame fixture, is we're going to have to disassemble this thing. So if we go in there and really put a lot of weld in there, that's just going to make a lot of work on the back end. Okay, now I've already installed that mid brace, and here I'm working on the back. Now my fixture, I have already pre-drilled holes in the rear, so I can install these screw type jacks, and that makes life a lot easier. And that's a shot of the front completed and set. And you'll notice the bottom of the rocker is parallel with the frame fixture. Top of the door level. And that's the piece I used with the fireball squares. And that's on the frame rail. And then there's our back mount. Hey, we are ready to take off on this thing and really get into the rust repair. Hey, stay tuned to the following videos. And as always, thanks for watching.